Welcome back to D&J React, where travel and culture spark conversation.
Every day.
In today's conversation, we've got top 10 Philippines. This is your dream destination. This is by Lost LeBlanc. This guy's channel is amazing. I've been watching Lost LeBlanc for 4 years or 5 years now. Actually, it might have been longer. It might be like 6 years or something when he first started. And I think he went out to, I want to say Thailand first is where he first started. I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure he started in Thailand, and he had like no money when he first started. Went out there, he like worked at a Best Buy for a little bit, and like, you know, they kind of gave him like some camera gear to like work with, and he basically made it work off of scratch. But before he like did the whole YouTube thing, he was like a tax accountant or something in like a building, and he hated his life, and he was like just in the cubicle and
just ready to get away,
just hated
something
it.
different.
Yeah, so he got out of Canada and moved over to Thailand or Philippines first, and look at him now. I mean, super successful, like 6-7 years later. Just killing
amazing,
it.
Man.
Yeah, he's freaking awesome.
Living the life,
guys,
traveling.
go follow Lost LeBlanc. Give this guy some love because he creates incredible content. And this is like his older video from like 3 years ago. His new stuff, like his editing and just the way he puts his videos together and the storylines. I mean, he's like a movie director at this point. I mean, he's incredible.
He's really good.
But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in.
The tropical journey through the most beautiful destination that I've come across in all my 3 years of travel. This right here is the Philippines. Having spent almost 4.5 months, 3 separate visits in the country, I've seen and done a lot of things here. And because of my recent trip here, it was time to update my top 10 to the Philippines with the 2.0 version. Strap yourself in and get ready for what will be your next tropical adventure.
It doesn't look real.
Let's hop right into it with number 10. Cresta de Gallo. This is going to be an island that 95% of you have never heard of before. The reason being because, well, it's probably just about the hardest island you can ever try to get to. I spent about 3 days of travel just to get here. There were no given routes. You basically had to completely wing it and just show up, hope that everything would work out. But one of the great things about traveling the Philippines is that the locals will stop what they're doing in a heartbeat to try to help you out. So getting around, even the off the beaten path kind of places is still possible here, but you really need to want this. So why should you go out of your way to find Cresta de Gallo? Well, I think the drone shots will speak for themselves. When you show up on this island, you feel like you're on Castaway. You feel like you are stranded in the middle of nowhere.
So
you might as well
they consider those, like even the uninhabited, they consider those still to be the islands.
Part of the Philippines, of the 7,000 islands.
Interesting. I wonder why no one builds out on the, maybe because it's so far and
maybe they're protected. Pristine islands, they're protecting them so they don't get polluted and destroyed.
Start screaming Wilson because there ain't no one coming. We were fortunate enough that day to have had the sun on our side, and we got a remarkable sunset. We watched it on this narrow white sand beach. Cresta de Gallo is for those who are willing to go the extra 1,000 miles to see true beauty. Now, let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is one that most of you know very well and have seen on your Instagram as it's currently blowing up, and that is beautiful El Nido. El Nido is one of the most talked about destinations in all of the Philippines.
So many people in the comments were talking about El Nido.
I saw that.
Yeah, they were, the last one that we did, top 10 Philippines, was like not very informative at all, and they missed a lot of like really badass places that, I don't know, they just didn't put it on. Everybody in the comments was like, why didn't they have this one, this one, this one, this one?
I know. Well, I guess you can only get so many, so you got to kind of pick. Maybe it was like the destinations that person went to, so they're just reporting on it.
I mean, there is 7,000 plus islands, so it's kind of hard.
You can only do so much in a video.
Kind of hard to hit them all.
Philippines, and with that being said, that's why it's not making the top 3 and not even the top 5. I'm putting it all the way at number 9 because right now El Nido is facing a very well-deserved tourism boom. This place is Avatar meets your craziest dream.
I always say that.
Incredible, dramatic limestone mountains just jutting out of emerald blue waters. It really makes no sense how everything that's beautiful is in one place, but that is what El Nido is all about. El Nido is particularly well known for its island tours. You've got Tour A, which is probably the most popular, where you get to see Small Lagoon, you get to see Big Lagoon. Out of my 3 trips to the Philippines, I've been to El Nido every single time, 3 years in a row, and I've seen that constant increase in tourism. If you're in a large enough group, my recommendation is to actually just rent out your own private boat. The big advantage to that is that you don't need to follow the path that everyone else is following. And one of the great things of having your own private group is that you can call the shots. You don't need to follow everyone else. You can just go to your own islands and make your own adventures. After seeing Small Lagoon, we actually asked our driver just to
do the best thing in the world. Like when I go to the Keys, and what I want to do when I go here, when I go to the Keys, I go fishing for my own fish, and then I fillet them and make like fish sandwiches that night with them. Bro,
the best, huh?
So freaking good, man. When you, I don't know, there's just something like barbaric about getting your food and then cooking it yourself.
Making it yourself.
I don't know, man. It just makes you feel more like a man.
take us to a private island. We had lunch on this island, pretty much just us and another boat. Overall, that was for me the best way to enjoy El Nido. But one warning is that you might miss out on the social atmosphere that can happen when you have a great tour group. I've also had one of my best ever dives here in El Nido. I saw barracuda, sea turtle, I believe I saw a seahorse, a bunch of other incredible marine life. This was definitely a remarkable diving spot.
Wow,
there's one other thing that you cannot miss if you go to El Nido, and that is the beach called Nakpan, the most beautiful beach in the entire world. Number 8 is the island of Bohol. Bohol is one of the most diverse islands you will see. High-end hotels, hostels, everything is here in Bohol, and that is one of the reasons I love it so much.
So that's Joseph Cara. We've done a couple of his songs now, reacted to them. He's from that island, so everybody was saying when we go there, try to hook up with him.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Have him maybe show us around and get some video with him.
Some of his music and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether you want to spend your day on the beach or go and explore the beautiful Chocolate Hills, there's so much that can be seen and done here. Not to mention, this is home to one of the most unique creatures you'll ever come across. It looks like a monkey that had a baby with an alien. It's called a tarsier. They're very, very nervous.
Whoa, those eyes.
That thing is crazy.
Otherwise, they literally could drop dead from a heart attack. I'm not joking. There are two main parts of Bohol. There is Anda, which is in the north, and I thought it was beautiful. I really love this blue hole we found, but I gotta say, the beach up in the north, when I was there a year and a half ago, was very dirty. Hopefully they've taken care of that. And in the more southern tip of the island, you have Alona Beach, and this is probably where I would recommend you stay. All sorts of different hotels and accommodations. Pretty good food, pretty good nightlife, and it's a great place to start your day trip if you're gonna be doing the Tarsier Chocolate Hill day trip. That can all be done in one day. It's one of my favorite day trips that I've ever had. Now, number 7 is definitely for all you lovers out there. This is the secret hideout of Palawan. Port Barton is in between El Nido and Puerto Princesa, and it's only about a 4-hour drive away from El Nido. It's definitely one of my recommended places for you if you're the kind of person that wants to relax, that wants to have a romantic...
It's so cool, like wherever you're about to travel to out there, you know it's gonna be paradise.
Yeah, it only gets better and better.
Yeah.
Retreat and do a whole lot of nothing. How I best describe Port Barton is candlelit dinners on the beach and lights out by like 9 p.m. There's a couple bars on the beach, so it's not to say everything shuts down. Unfortunately, my time there was very limited and I did not get to do the island hopping tour, but I've heard it's one of the better ones, so definitely try and check that out. There's also known to be a lot of sea turtles in this area, so do a bit of snorkeling and you may very well encounter yourself with one of those dudes. Finding Nemo. Alright, for number 6, I'm actually going to do a 2-part because these two islands are very close by and they would definitely make an incredible trip. But let's start it off by talking a little bit about Tablas, a place that is literally so unknown that I have to say I feel a little bit proud that I even found it. Tablas is a dormant but beautiful island. It's made for you to explore. Bring your friend, get a scooter, and go explore this island because it has so much to offer. Incredible white sand beaches, beautiful sunsets, you will find it all here in the island of Tablas. And one of my major finds on this island here was this resort right here named Footprints. If you're going to Tablas, they are my number 1 recommendation. Now, just a short 1-hour boat ride away from Tablas is the island of Romblon, and on Romblon is one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. This is Bon Bon Beach. These are the moments that live with you for the rest of your life, and it made coming all the way off the beaten path completely worth it. With that being said, it's actually not that hard to get here. Even though these two islands are definitely off the main tourist path, they are actually super easy to get to. I flew direct Manila to Tablas in like 1 hour and 10 minutes using Cebu Pacific. And Cebu Pacific is the #1 airline in the country. They were my go-to airline for my travels across the Philippines.
Bro, the thing that amazes me so much is once you leave the US, the flights are like $20 to like $50 to
so
like
cheap.
Just go in, like island hop or travel throughout Asia. Like max ticket price I've seen was like $120.
Yeah, I mean for $20 to $50, dude, that's so cheap to be able to bounce around.
I was
And
shocked.
that's actually not bad. An hour, hour and a half to get there.
Mm-mm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the awesome thing is they even fly internationally to places like Seoul, Hong Kong, Singapore, Bangkok, and even Australia. I definitely recommend taking a bit of a wild card on your next trip and trying out these two islands. Number 5 is the extremely underrated Dumaguete. And I've actually had the pleasure of going to Dumaguete on 2 separate occasions. And the great thing about Dumaguete is not necessarily Dumaguete itself.
You guys have been telling us a lot about Dumaguete, so that's definitely one we're gonna add to our list for sure. Because, gee, look at this place.
Oh, little huts in the water. How cool is that?
You know, the scariest thing I've ever had happen to me in the Keys, I was snorkeling on like really shallow water like this, and then you see how it gets really dark right here. When you like snorkel over the cliff, and it's just like a sheer drop off all the way down.
It's just black.
You could just see like huge fish swimming way, way, way down there. It's so sketchy, bro.
I'm good on that, man.
It's like a different feeling. It's like you're falling off the earth or something.
But what surrounds it? It has Apo Island, which literally means sea turtle island. It has Sikihor Island, which is a remarkable voodoo witchcraft island that has slowly become more popular by tourism. It's also relatively close to one of my favorite discoveries in the entire country, known as Manjuyud Sandbar, or as I tried to coin it, the Maldives of the Philippines. And there's one particularly great day trip in Dumaguete, and that is Casaroro Falls. Now, I just name dropped a ton of places, and that's probably a little overwhelming, but the great thing is I've actually created an entire travel video guide for the Philippines. So if you're curious about that, I have a free preview to the guide down below. It covers everything you could possibly need to know, everything from safety, transportation, hotels, the best must-see hidden gems, and it'll definitely get you a great head start for your upcoming trip.
See, this is why you guys need to subscribe to him, because just a wealth of knowledge. And this isn't the only place where he has travel guides. He has travel guides like Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, you name it. He goes very into detail on these countries and, you know, how to get around, how not to get screwed over. Like, he's
all kind of, like he said, he's got the travel guides, the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge.
My heart and soul and everything that I learned over my past 3 trips to the Philippines into this one guide so that you can make the most of it. So definitely go check that out. Number 4 is Bantian Island, one of the islands I love most in the entire world. This is like Boracay before Boracay blew up. Bantian's not exactly the easiest island in the world to get to, but the slight challenges that come with getting there are 100% worth it. That seems to be a trend here. The more you put into getting there, the more you're going to enjoy it. And typically it also means the less people that will be there. And if you're like myself, it's great to have a beautiful white sand beach to just yourself and a handful of other people. For me, that's what travel is about. It's about experiencing the things that few others have seen. And Bantian is certainly one of those places. You'll definitely want to rent a motorbike because the island could probably take you as much as like 5 to 6 hours just to go around. It is definitely a full day trip just to scratch the surface of this island. The people of the Philippines are extremely kind, and it doesn't matter what road you follow down. Typically, they always greet you with a massive smile, and don't be afraid to pull over and actually have a conversation with them. I remember in Bantian, stopping at a random little market and just sitting down and having a beer with a few of the guys. Even though there was a bit of a language barrier,
Can you drink and drive on those islands?
I guess. I mean, it looks like it.
It doesn't look like there's someone who's gonna stop you.
Kind of a free-for-all, I guess.
Just get drunk with the locals, hop right back on the bike,
and just roll on.
Start wheeling.
Really appreciated me making the effort to talk to them, and for me, it was one of the highlights of my entire day. So definitely try and make friends with the locals. A couple of the notable locations on the island are this abandoned building here, right on the water, and in typical Philippines nature, we have got some incredible blue water with the saturation on full boost. It's definitely a very relaxing island, so enjoy a world-class sunset in one of my favorite islands in the entire world. Alright, we are now heading up to the podium. The bronze medal, number 3, is going to Badian. Nothing but beautiful blue water that's formed its way through the rocks. You can see some incredible cliff jumps into the canyon. The water has even eroded away at some of the rock, and it's made for some crazy water slides that go into the refreshing waters. Now, you'd think this would be the end of the experience, but there is actually a cherry on top, and that is at the very end of the canyon, you arrive at what is the greatest waterfall that I think I've ever seen. This right here is Kawasan Falls, also known as the Gatorade Factory. Weather dependent, when you visit, the bluest of waters will be flowing into this little area at the very...
My whole life goal now is to buy a property with a waterfall with that clear of water.
Where are you going to get it at?
Wherever I can. I mean, I really don't care. I mean, I would preferably over in Asia would be my goal, but I mean, realistically, wherever I can get it for the best price, you know.
and this is the result. It's definitely becoming a bit more of a mainstream destination, so try to coordinate and figure out the low times to visit. But even if you have to share it with other people, this is still an unforgettable experience. Now, most people would celebrate if they got a silver medal, if they made the podium, but Karan, please don't cry. You're still extremely beautiful. Number 2 is going to the dreamy island of Karan. Look at these drone clips. Look at these lagoons. Look at this water. It is very similar to what you saw in El Nido, but the remarkable thing about Karan is that it's not as busy as El Nido. So everything that was great about El Nido is here, but with less tourism. Only 2 of the 11 lakes on the island are accessible to the public. Not even the locals can swim in those other 9 sacred lakes. There's a lot of history here, and there's even said to be a giant octopus that swims in these waters.
Really?
So always be looking behind you.
Giant octopus?
Yeah.
There are 3 main things that you
creepy.
must do in Karan, and the first 2 can be done in one day trip. There's actually a shipwreck and Pass Island day tour, where you start off the day by free diving into a sunken Japanese warship, if you can hold your breath long enough. And secondly, you end off your day here at Pass Island, one of the most beautiful islands that I think I've ever seen. Nothing but beautiful white sand beaches surrounded by cerulean blue waters and a whole lot of nothing to do. They even had an island wiener dog. That was definitely the cherry on top to Pass Island. And the third thing that everyone will end up doing if they go to Karan is, of course, the lagoon tour. The lagoons here are out of this world. There's many island tours that are offered, but the one that I took me to these beautiful lagoons. It took me to the incredible Kalagaman Lake, and they even showed us a secret lake where we had to swim under one of the rock structures to access. If the weather is right, you will never be able to find something more beautiful than this, period. Now guys, let us find out who has pushed Karan off of the number 1 spot in last year's
How is
top
anything
10.
better?
Drum roll, please.
About to find out.
Number 1 goes to the unbelievable island of Siargao. Siargao, also known as Cloud 9, is surfer's paradise. Right off of the ocean, you're getting incredible.
So I was like, oh, I'm so scared of surfing because of the sharks and stuff. And they're like, more people die from getting hit in the head by a coconut than they do by getting eaten by a shark out there. But over here, you know, like living by California, when I was living there, people were getting like, this guy was on his kayak and just like a huge whale came up and like ate his kayak.
Yeah, I saw that.
He like fell out of the side of the whale's mouth.
Yeah,
but I'm like, there's that, and then there's all the shark attacks.
Yeah, you got a bunch of great whites. You got the tiger sharks.
And then over in the Keys, I was literally going to snorkel the next day, and the day before I went to go snorkel, some kid got his leg bitten off by a shark in Alligator Reef where I was going to snorkel.
Oh, hell no.
And then I went and snorkeled there the next day, and it was fine. Everything was cool. But
that's so weird because the same thing happened to me when I was a kid. We used to actually go water skiing in the Caloosahatchee River when I was a kid. Like every weekend, that was the thing to do. And then a father and his daughter were, you know, like dual skiing together. They both dropped and went in. And I guess the father just happened to hit a shark. It spun back around and got the daughter and took her leg off.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was like the end of me going in the Caloosahatchee River. There was no more skiing.
See,
I was
the
done with that.
scary thing about the Caloosahatchee River is it's black water.
Yeah, it's murky.
You can't see anything
it's bad.
in that water. I'll never go in water where it's pure black.
But you're a kid, you know, we were like early teens, so it was like just the fun thing to do on the weekends to go out on the boat and just go skiing. You don't think about stuff like that until a story like that hits.
But out there, they're saying the sharks, they're not really that bad.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I will try surfing then.
Yeah.
Waves crashing in on the shore. This is actually where I had my first ever real successful surfing day.
That's
and for me,
crazy
it was a
looking.
very rewarding experience. My nipples were a little chafed, but we're not going to get into that. And luckily, the surfing is just scratching the surface. There is so much that you can do here in Siargao. There's some great hostels, some amazing hotels, and they even have 6-star resorts like Dead on Island Resort. This is a truly world-class luxury experience. There's the emerald green Sugba Lagoon, the incredible rock pools of Magupunko. Probably didn't say that right, but we're gonna move on. And the awesome thing is, Siargao is just one island that's surrounded by other beautiful islands. There's Naked Island, which, by the way, it's probably frowned upon to be naked there. There's Guyam Island, and several others that will all be fit into your island hopping tour, so that's for you to explore and find out. And it's actually becoming a lot easier to get here. You can actually fly direct now from Manila using Cebu Pacific, and you get there in like an hour and 45. Good nightlife, chilled vibes, all in one place. This is Siargao, and that is the reason it is my #1 must-see place in the Philippines. That is the top 10s of the
Alright,
that's on
Philippines.
the list
I hope it
now.
helped you with your upcoming trip, and if you are coming, then you'll definitely want to check out my free preview to my 5 hot tips to the Philippines. It'll be a great head start for you on your trip. Look no further, check the link in the bio, and if you're new to my channel here, I would invite you to become part of Team Get Lost by hitting that subscribe button. So guys, without further ado, let's get lost again in the next one. Get
I
ready.
love his videos, man.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's so good at presenting things.
Pretty incredible, man. We'll get there.
So it was
Sargal.
Sargao. Okay, so Sargao. What was some of the other ones on the list?
I can't remember the name of all of them because he named so many.
El Nido. You don't remember a single one.
There were so many, dude.
El Nido, Sargao, and Cebu is one of them as well. He didn't mention that in this list, but we have
And that's
another.
one that's on the list for us to go.
Yeah, definitely. But good stuff, guys. That was incredible. I can't believe you guys live like this.
Pretty amazing, man. That's a hell of a life.
I know not everybody lives like that, but
No.
for the people that do live around that area,
Pretty
I can't
amazing.
imagine just like how happy they are day to day.
Yeah, just no stress. You don't have the city life and all the crazy 9 to 5. Gotta go, gotta get to work.
The
Gotta
city
answer
life
my emails.
It's really nice if you don't have to like work for somebody.
Mhm.
Like if you're like, you own a YouTube
Yeah.
channel or something like that. Like the city life would be cool to visit for a little bit. Not staying there full time is, I don't know, that's not on my list of
no,
things
man.
to do.
This is more my style.
For sure, like
the
more the
beach,
nature, like
yeah, man, the nature, just getting out, like hiking, camping, biking.
motorcycle riding.
Definitely, man.
Four-wheeling,
Yeah,
all
going
that
in the
stuff.
city, just seeing a bunch of buildings, congestion,
The city
traffic.
is good for
it's
like, I'm
eh.
gonna go buy some clothes, I'm gonna go out and check
Yeah.
out the food.
Yeah, you need to do something like that for a day, sure, but that's not like on my top list of things that I care to do.
Yeah, this is more my style too.
100%.
But good stuff, guys. If you have any more videos like this that you would recommend or any more places, please drop them over in our community chat on our Patreon. Whatever videos you add over there on that list, we'll be sure to put on our work list. We're giving you guys 7 days free, so check that out. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you over on Patreon.
Peace.
Peace.